Hello, everybody. You're listening to Alternative Revelations with Linda Emanuel. And this is podcast 116. And it's another town that is going to be under attack in October. And I have to say this, that if this resonates with you, so be it. If not, just let it go. Think of it as entertainment. Because, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, this is unbelievable when I'm finding out about some of these towns and why they're being targeted. And, the Jesuits, the controllers, the Illuminati, the Masons, whatever you want to call them, they take advantage of things that are going on to their advantage. Like if they want to get somebody in line, instead of killing them, they just traumatize them and say, look, we'll kill your family, we'll kill the whole town if you don't do what we say. So now we're going to focus on West Virginia, and the capital of Charleston, West Virginia, is going to be under attack in October. Now I've got to point out, just because a town is being attacked with the 5G doesn't mean that other towns do not have the 5G and they can be turned on too at any time. They're using this 5G two different ways: to depopulate and also to control the administrators of the towns. And in the case of Charleston, West Virginia, which is the capital, beautiful city. I've driven through there on Highway 64 on the way to Williamsburg, Virginia. It's just a gorgeous drive through the mountains. And it's alongside of a river. It's just a gorgeous city. And if I can remember correctly, its capital has a gold dome on the top. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And this town is really laid out weird, but of course it's in like a gorge where the river is. It's not really, it's all in the mountains. You're driving through these rock mountains to get through Charleston. Now, the newly elected mayor of Charleston, that's who's being targeted. If you look her up on Facebook or Wikipedia, just a sweet looking 30-something-year-old with two children, looks about 10 and 9, something like that. Her husband's a lawyer, prominent lawyer, who ran for the Democratic ticket for governor a couple years ago and lost. But, just a really down-to-earth, she was a journalist, went to journalist school, and then she was a reporter for a TV station in Charleston, and she ran for office, and she won, and I think she just got elected last year. So they're using the 5G to put her in place. And now I was wondering if the governor had anything to do with it. No, but the governor, his name is Jim Justice, and he's part of the club. He does what he's told, but he's not a Satanist or a Luciferian. But he's very wealthy. He's worth about $1 billion. And they claim that he's the richest man in West Virginia. But I know better. West Virginia used to be a stronghold of the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers are probably by far richer than Jim Justice. So Jim Justice, Spirit's telling me this. I'm not professing that I know this. Jim Justice knows exactly what's going on. He does not reside in the governor's mansion. He resides in Lewisburg, West Virginia. And there's a lawsuit pending in front of the West Virginia Supreme Court. In their constitution, it describes that the governor of the state must, according to the Constitution of West Virginia, must reside in the governor mansion in Charleston, or reside in the seat where the government is. But he lives in Lewisburg and refuses to live in Charleston. So it's a perfect setup. He's not going to be around when the 5G is turned on in October, and the mayor is going to be put in her place. And I'm going to give you the boundaries of Charleston. It's a really simple layout. And here goes. And I'm going to put the map of the layout in the description of this podcast. And first of all, Charleston is just all among when you're going through Charleston, it's like you're going through this mountain. And there's a river that runs all the way through Charleston. And 64 runs all the way through Charleston. It was a beautiful drive, beautiful city. So Charleston 64 runs, let's see, west to east or east to west. And when you're coming from St. Louis and you're going to Williamsburg, you're coming from the west. So I'm going to start at the west end of Charleston, the city of Charleston, where the 5G is going to start. And the Highway 64 crosses the river a couple times. And on the very south end of, it says South Charleston, there's a bridge right after you go out of the town Dunbar. There's a bridge. That's the 64 is kind of how the 5G is going to run along. And it's going to run on both sides of Highway 64. And it's going to go all the way through Charleston. Charleston's kind of like a snake. You know, it goes along wiggling like a snake, like the river. And it's going to end right above Malden, Malden. And that Charleston's pretty simple. The 5G is going to be all through Charleston, and it's going to be a death zone for people. And isn't it horrible that these people have so disrespect for human life that they'll kill a lot of people just to get somebody in line? You know, of course, she probably lives in Charleston, and she's got her family's life. Looks like she has 2 boys on Facebook. Look to be about 10 or 9 or 12. Look like a very happy family. Her husband's a lawyer. He ran against the present governor of West Virginia. His name is Jim Justice. Now, again, he's not a Satanist, but he is in the club. He knows exactly what's going on, and he lives in Lewisburg. So pray for Charleston, West Virginia. Beautiful town. Beautiful, beautiful town. Going through the mountains. You take 64 down to Williamsburg. Beautiful drive all the way through those West Virginia mountains. So pray for Amy Goodwin, that she'll do the right thing, that she'll figure out what's going on before it's going on. And it's not the coronavirus, it's the 5G. So I'm going to let you go here. This is a very short podcast about West Virginia. And West Virginia, Charleston, stay in the light. Do what's right, Mayor Goodwin. Until next time, good night and God bless.